Hi everyone and welcome to Chef Mooney, coming to you from Mooney's Kitchen. Now today's recipe, I'm going to do something very different, something that I've never cooked before, but it's a beautiful dish that I've always loved every time I've had it. It's a Greek dish, and of course it is the classic Spanakopita, and I'm going to make my version of this dish, and I'm hoping it's going to appeal to you as a vegetarian, or if you like Greek food. This is something that you can try, give it a go. So let's get all the ingredients together and I'll show you how to make it. Let's go over the ingredients and what you're going to need to make this Spanakopita. Okay, I've got just a pastry ring here and it fits nicely onto this tray. It's a pizza tray, it's got holes at the bottom, and you don't necessarily need to use this, but we're going to need our mixing bowl, a little bit of melted butter there, some olive oil, some fresh dill, and of course some phyllo pastry. We're also going to use some feta cheese, and I'm going to use some ricotta cheese as well. Now we're also going to add 1 egg to combine, about 2 cloves of garlic just chopped up, and a little bit of spring onion. And we're going to use some fresh nutmeg there. If you don't have fresh nutmeg, you can always use the ground nutmeg that you can buy in the jar. We're going to need a wok to cook our spinach in. There's our spinach. We've got about 2 kilos of spinach, which I've washed and just let the water drip out of that for the next half hour or so. We're going to use some olive oil, and of course we're going to fry everything up in our wok. So let's get on with the first part of the recipe. Into our wok we want to add some olive oil, probably around about 4 tablespoons. In with our spring onions and the garlic. Now you just want to sweat this down just a little bit. Okay, so your onions and your garlic have been cooking. They're nice and soft now. We're just going to add our spinach to this. I'm going to add some grated nutmeg. If you don't have the whole nutmeg, you can use the ground nutmeg. I'm also going to add some lemon zest. Not too much, I just want to give it that bit of freshness. And I'm going to add the juice of half a lemon, just capturing those pips as we go. It smells delicious. Okay, put your lid on. Okay, now it's been cooking for a couple of minutes, just gently steaming away. It's still lovely and green. And we've got a bit of juice there as well, so I just want to make sure that we just incorporate all those lovely flavours. And I've got myself a colander and a plate, and I just want to take the spinach out now and just let that drain. Okay, so you want to try and squeeze as much of that moisture out as you can, and you can see that it's just all going to fall through that colander. Just give it a gentle pat down with a flat spatula or a wooden spoon or something a little bit flat. Okay, put your spinach into a bowl. We're going to add a good sprinkle of fresh dill, and then I'm going to add 375 grams of ricotta cheese, and I'm going to add 200 grams of feta cheese. We just want to break this up now and just incorporate everything together. Once your cheese is added, I'm just going to put 1 egg in. That's a fairly large egg. Otherwise you can use 2 small eggs, and just give that a good mix around. That's our filling done. Now we need to just put it all together. Okay, so I've got about 4 sheets of phyllo pastry here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 1 sheet first, and with my melted butter I'm just going to brush the whole thing all the way across. And I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to lay it face butter side down onto my tray. Okay, so we've got 5 sheets there. We're going to put our filling in, the whole lot, just straight in. Scrape it in. Now we start to fold the phyllo pastry over on itself like this. Now some of this has dried out slightly because I didn't cover it. It's really important to cover it. But we're going to just rectify that problem now by just brushing that butter over the top. And just want to make sure. Grab 1 sheet, put it on the top, press it down, and then just fold those over like so. Fold over again. So I've actually used 10 sheets of phyllo pastry for the base and 10 sheets for the pie topping, I guess, if you would like to call it that. Just fold it over. Phyllo pastry is a little bit forgiving. Even if it starts to get a little bit dry on the edges, you can kind of mop it up with a little bit of that butter and make sure that it all sort of fits in. If you feel that it needs a bit more pastry, you just keep adding your layers of phyllo. Now I'm going to set my oven to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. You can go a little bit higher. Depends on your oven. If you've got a really slow oven, you might want to go a little bit higher. With a sharp knife, I'm going to slice through to a quarter again, and then again. So there you go, my Spanakopita is in the oven. It's the very first Greek dish I've cooked. I'm sure that it's going to go down well, and we're going to see how it comes out. The last time I made it was delicious and it was really nice. This is the Spanakopita. Once it comes out of the oven, you have to let it rest before you start to cut it. Otherwise it's going to be a bit of a mess. But as you can see, it's a beautiful dish. Very, very colourful. Lovely and crisp on the edges. A beautiful spinach, ricotta cheese, feta cheese, nutmeg, a little bit of lemon, some spring onion. This, my friends, I'm going to be pretty proud to serve up to any Greek person who comes along to Mooney's kitchen. This is the end result, the beautiful Greek dish Spanakopita. I'm going to let you have a look here. Look at that. That's pretty good. You're going to cut through here. Beautiful crisp phyllo pastry with a beautiful filling, spinach, a touch of nutmeg, a little bit of lemon zest in there. Wonderful and crisp. Really nice. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you on my next recipe, and until next time, have yourselves a great week.